Welcome to Who Dares Sins, where you get the opportunity to get something off your chest that you might have had on there for a very long time. It might be bugging you that you haven't told the truth. You might have stitched someone up. You might have done something you're not proud of. Well, let me know, and I'll let everybody else know. If you want to remain anonymous, that's up to you. Or maybe you want everybody to know exactly who it was who sinned. So let's get on with it. Welcome to this edition of Who Dares Sins, and we have had a multitude of people get in touch with us now with confessions. I think I've made the nation guilty of something, and you know you are, don't you? Yeah. Anyway, we got a load here, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go through some now, all right? Because I think it's good that you can get it off your chest, and it makes you feel like you've not achieved something, but it makes you feel like you've sort of like let something go. Isn't that right? Just let it go. Right, anyway, here we go. So, this is from Airline Secret 6725. Now, the very fact that you've got no name there says to me you've got more than one airline secret, doesn't it? You know. Yeah, and only you know. Anyway, you've told me enough for me to get my teeth into a certain story. So, you were 17 years old. It was 1978, and you were an assistant air traffic controller. What a job that is. You must have done so well at school. You must have really been one of these high flyers at school. Excuse the pun. You know what I mean? Anyway, it says, as far as you were concerned, that you were the lowest of the low in operations at RAF Honington. In fact, you describe yourself as being that low you could get under a snake's belly with a top hat on. Not that they issue top hats in the RAF, but they're not far off, are they? Anyway, listen, you just passed your driving test, hadn't you? You just passed your driving test, and so that must have felt good as a young person. 17 years old, cutting about. Probably couldn't afford a car then, but you'd have been cutting around. And as sure is sure, you were cutting around because the station commander, no less, the station commander himself. Imagine that. The station commander comes in and says to you, "Can you take me across the other side of the airfield?" To which you're obliged to anyway, because you're the lowest person there. So you are going, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? You've got no choice about that. So you're going. Now you tell me here that you were slightly nervous. You were sort of like one of those sort of like, oh, am I going to get this right? And driving around an airfield as well isn't easy, is it? Do you know what I mean? So not only have you passed your test in Civvy World, now you've got to drive on it, you've got to have your four ways on, you've got to understand a little bit about the layout of the land and all that sort of stuff. Nothing worse than going straight across a runway and all of a sudden, you'd be in trouble, wouldn't you? You'd be in trouble. So anyway, you weren't in trouble because you had the station commander with you. And as you went there, you got stopped by a set of traffic lights. And you had to give your call sign. Seagull going over to the Chipmunks. Seagull going over to the Chipmunks. So the station commander's code name or call sign was Seagull. I don't even want to know who Chipmunks were, all right? But anyway, if you were the Chipmunks, you know that Seagull's coming now. And I should imagine if you were the Chipmunks, you put your feet together because you're like, oh, the station commander's on his way. Anyway, you said you went over there and you dropped him off and all was good. Anyway, Seagull, the station commander, he decided that he was going to stop with the Chipmunks. So you had to go back. And you said you sort of like thought, right, I'll just drive around as I normally would. So off you went. But you knew now that you had to use your call sign to get back across. So you've gone back to the traffic lights, same traffic lights. You've got to get across the runway, and you're parked up, and you're waiting for them to give you the green light. But you haven't spoke to them yet. So you get up on the net. Tower, this is Seagull. I'm coming back over. To which the net goes quite silent. You drive across, and as you drive past the tower, of which you're going to go into in a minute, you notice that everybody's looking at you. Some are even having a little giggle. And you're looking around thinking, why are they looking at me? So you duly drive round, you get out your car, park it up, reversed in. You get yourself into a position where you're now ready to go up the stairs, and you walk up the stairs into the tower. When you get in there, the whole tower has gone silent. Everybody's having a look at you. They've had to turn round. A whole flight of buccaneers that were coming into land. So they're not happy. there's also been a few other people that have had their noses put out of joint because you have used the station commander's call sign when you should have been using Seagull's driver. So you've said you were the Seagull. So, I mean, I could have you there on account of bloating there because you were crowbag. You were sort of like, you were the lower than the lowest, as you said yourself. So you actually bloated your way up to station commander. Anyway, you'd messed a lot of people about. A lot of people got upset with you. And you've decided that, you was going to tell me because you feel bad about it. Even to this day, messing Buccaneer pilots about isn't the best move, is it? And other people there who should have been going on their breaks came back because they thought the station commander was coming back. All that sort of stuff. Chaos caused by you getting the wrong call sign. So there you go. I know you're sorry for it because you've told me you're extremely sorry. And you said, oh dear, great way to launch my new Air Force career. Well, I hope you had a great career in the Air Force. I mean, bearing in mind that was 1978, I should imagine you're all the way through that, if not coming to the end. So listen, thanks for writing to me. Great story. And if you were there in that tower with him that day, or you were one of the chipmunks, all right, he's sorry. Now put it to bed. It's done, all right? Time served. Right, so very quickly now, I've got time for one more. It's at capital A, capital M, AC6-VN1 squad. Mate, what kind of a name is that? Do you know what I mean? Come on, get your face on here. Faceless profiles, you know I come looking for you. Right, anyway, I'm just going to read it exactly how you sent it to me. Me and my best buddy, in brackets, 2 Remy, Egypts. Are you Egypts in 2 Remy? Egypts. Anyway, that's your words, not mine. We're heading back to Oknakloi to our base in Ballycally after repairing some vehicles for the Grenadier Guards. Nice job. Lovely. I happened to notice that our odometer was not working. So instead of driving straight back to camp, we made a bit of a detour and went to my girlfriend's house in East Belfast, like you do. Do you know what I mean? If the odometer's not right, that's just a license to go where you like, isn't it? I mean, the only way you're going to really get rumbled on that one is if the petrol goes that low that you run out. But yeah, you obviously took your gamble. You get done for getting caught. Remember, I've said that before. We got back a few hours overdue, which nearly resulted in the QRF being deployed. Obviously, you're in Northern Ireland, just an operational setting. If you don't come back, people come looking, don't they? That's the score, isn't it? So you're starting to cause a bit of a ruckus by not being there. Anyway, you get there before that all happens. The CSM was not happy with our story. This story has to be one of the worst stories I've ever heard, but it's your story, so here we go. The story was that we had run over a huge badger, which was caused us to be late. You put in brackets on this one, we actually did run over a badger, but it didn't take that long to sort it out. I mean, how long does it take to sort out a badger after you? What, were you performing CPR on it? Were you trying to bring it back to life? Were you putting its arm in a sling? Come on. You leave it by the side of the road. In fact, you probably would. Oh, yeah, badger. Nice one. There you go. The CSM knew something was up but couldn't prove it. My mate, being a craftsman, got let off with a telling off, and I, being an NCO, got a telling off and 7 days extras. And rightly so. But there you go. It's off your chest now. You've exposed yourself publicly. That sounded wrong, didn't it? Right, anyway, I don't care because I'm out of here. Listen, if you have got any stories similar, if you want to get anything off your chest, if you think to yourself, I can't go on anymore unless I tell Phil this, well, tell me. Let me know. And I'll make you internet famous. You've been watching Who Dares Sins. If you've got a story you'd like me to tell, if you'd like to fess up, if you've got something you want to get off your chest, why don't you send it in to the details below? Click subscribe at the same time. Give us a follow, a thumbs up. You know the score. And who knows? You could star on here yourself.